And there you have it. The markets are officially closed. Hello, investors and traders. I'm AJ Monte, and this is a daily candle chart of DIA, which is the Dow Jones Industrial Average ETF. And as you can see here, we closed with a very well-pronounced bullish engulfing candle. That is when you have a big green candle engulfing the previous red candle. But what's interesting about that one is that it not only engulfs the previous red, but it engulfs the previous four candles here, red and green. And we're seeing that on an increase in volume. So if you're using my trading checklist, you'll know that those are bullish signals, especially as it's bouncing off that 20-period moving average. And so I'm going to put an upside target, but I'm going to do it in the form of a dotted line showing you the high resistance point right there. Not quite sure we're going to get all the way up to that level, but I do believe they're going to try to test that. We'll have to see what happens with the CPI numbers tomorrow morning and whether or not they're going to buy on that information or sell on the news. We don't know, but I will also tell you that while we have a higher high here recently on DIA, you can see that the CCI down below and the stochastic are showing lower highs. So that is a negative divergence. So again, short term, I think we could go a little bit higher, but we're also stuck in a very well-pronounced trading range right here. So for the swing traders and even the option traders, you could do extremely well. Most of you know by now that my long-term outlook is extremely bearish. I mean, I'm talking on the level of a crash that will shock most people. But you've also learned over time by following me on YouTube that 95% of our positions this year especially have been bullish. Let me just do a quick shout out to our matrix traders. We recently put a beautiful trade out on GNRC that's done very well recently here. You can see that. And CCJ was a very nice move today, very close to my upside target. You might be picking up on some of my YouTube shorts where we highlight some of my price targets. Remember, 83% of the targets that I set in place wind up hitting over a 2-month period. So I do believe that CCJ will probably hit my target that was set back here. We'll probably hit that by the end of this week. And with some of our equity traders, I can't give you the exact details because people who are in our membership pay for this, but we have a long position in LUV, and we had another really nice position in Mara not too long ago where we already took our profit on that one, on that bearish Harami right there. But we follow the trading checklist. When the signals are pointing up for the short-term duration, then we take long positions. When they're pointing down, especially for option traders, we wind up taking short positions. So we had a good mix of trade notifications that went out today. If you're interested in learning more about that, just go to StickyTrades.com and you could set up your free membership with no credit card needed. We had a corporate meeting today. There's absolutely no credit card needed for that. We don't want anyone to feel uncomfortable doing business with us, so you could set up your membership and follow along with some of my trade notifications and look at some of my reports and just learn as you go. Now, let's go to IWM. You can see here we had a pivot point again on slightly higher volume. You can see down below that we still have a negative divergence on that CCI and on the stochastic. So while I still think we could go a little bit higher to test the high from back here, I'll draw a dotted line right there at that high. I think we could hit that by the end of the week. I still see us stuck in a range. The downside target has not yet been hit. We almost hit that a couple of weeks ago, but you can see the range that I'm talking about. IWM especially is caught within this range between support and resistance, and so we're oscillating in this area right here, which makes for great trading opportunities, again, for our swing traders especially. So upside target by the end of the week, I think on IWM could be around 204 to 204.5. There's my number right there if you need that, 204.53. Moving on to the Qs, you're going to see the same thing. We had a surge of buying coming in, but it wasn't massive volume, but it was definitely an increase in volume. Now the Qs are still reaching for the stars. They call this a melt up. We don't know how long that's going to last, but I can tell you it's not going to last much longer. As we look at that monthly chart, you can see negative divergences all over the place. And so we have a super wide divergence between the 20-month moving average and the current price. That is a record divergence. You cannot have markets going up indefinitely or forever in this upward sloping trend. It has to correct and pull back, and a lot of the experts and analysts out there are actually warning the public that that could happen real soon. Until then, I think we're going slightly higher. I'm going to just do because we're in uncharted waters right here. I think we could go just a little bit higher, up to around 511 and change. Actually, I'm going to adjust that, make that exactly 511 for you, so you don't have to squint on that one. I'm just going to change that properties tab to 511 even. There we go, 00 there, and hit OK, and it comes right back down. All right, but we are again in this range where I think a pullback is in order. You can see that even while the Qs went up today, the oscillators are going lower. Again, big caution flag for anyone who is long tech. I'm not telling you to get out right now because, like I said, we're still taking long positions. But I am telling you it'd be a darn shame for you to turn winners into losers because you're holding on too long and not taking profits, or at least protecting those profits along the way. Taking a look at SPY, it's going to be the same story. I think we're going to go slightly higher. There's your increase in volume. We have no shadow on the top of that candle right there, or hardly any shadow. So I think we're going a little bit higher. I'll round that one up to 566 because I'm only 4 pennies away from that. 566. There we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1. There's the change to 566. That could happen by the end of the week, and then we have to keep an eye on the volume. The big story for me is going to be in the VIX. While the markets were going up, look what's happening to the VIX. The VIX is also going up. That is not what you usually see. The close over that moving average on the VIX is telling me something funny is going on here. I still have my upside target on the VIX at 1362, and this is a very, very unusual occurrence. While I still think we could go higher in the S&P by the end of the week, and the Qs and the diamonds, I think the VIX will also continue to go higher. It crossed over the momentum line right there, and once we hit that target, we'll have to see whether or not the markets pull back from that point. Remember, last week I talked about the fear index. You could Google that. You'll probably find it on CNN's website, the fear index. And what happens is when fear creeps into the market, that generally pushes prices down. Well, the volatility index on the CBOE is also known as a fear index. And when the fear increases, you'll understand that for the most part, it's inversely related to the market. So if the VIX is going up, that becomes more bearish for the general markets. Thank you so much for liking and sharing. It's been a while since we've had a midweek report. We're still seeing subscribers coming in. I'll let you know when we're getting close to the next big goal, which would be 12,000 subscribers. We still have a little ways to go in there, but we still have members coming in each and every week. If you are a member on YouTube, you're going to have access to special videos that the general public does not have. All you have to do is sign up as a member on YouTube. You're going to get some of these videos, especially the shorts and some of the rapid fire target stocks that we put out tonight from 6 to 7. We got a 1-hour packed session where I'm going to go over at least 60 stocks in 60 minutes. Again, you can find that information on our website, StickyTrades.com. Again, thank you so much for liking, subscribing, and commenting especially, and we'll talk to you in the next video. So long.